technology here, but this is still new for me. So I run a firm called Devotus. For Devotus in Latin means devoted to or solemn devotion to.
ऐसे ये तीनों एरियाज 1000 मार्क्स का वेटेज रखते हैं मेंस में, जबकि जीएस पेपर 1 2 3
Okay. So what we do in Devotus is essentially we work with aspiring students. Maybe I can remove mic here. Okay, I can reduce the mic here. Okay. So we work with aspiring students and basically help them fulfill that preparation which is not academic, which is completely non-technical, which is how do you ready yourself for success. And that's why we chose a topic called the psychology of success. We are essentially a mind coaching plus a performance support firm. Prior to this, I worked for 15-16 years in the corporate in the healthcare field. I was heading a business for Johnson & Johnson MedTech, and then worked in financial services with an investment bank as well. And then I realized कि अभी कुछ different करते हैं. And just the way all of you have realized कि कुछ different करते हैं, something that you wanted to do. Anybody wants to talk about when they look at the topic and say, what does it mean, the psychology of success? Any hands? इसको interactive रखते हैं, otherwise सुबह का टाइम आप लोग also economics के बाद आप लोग का भी दिमाग थोड़ा सा heavy होगा. So let's keep talking. Yes, please.
The factors which derive success.
Sure. Factors which derive success, yes. Psychology, yes. Please.
Motivation towards the aim.
मोटिवेशन नहीं है आज की कॉन्वर्सेशन में. मोटिवेशन नहीं है प्लीज़. मोटिवेशन यूट्यूब और इंस्टाग्राम पे बहुत है, आप वहाँ से ले सकते हो. बट या मतलब टुवर्ड्स सक्सेस है डेफिनेटली. एंड साइकोलॉजी, सी ऑल ऑफ यू आर वेरी वेरी इंटेलिजेंट. आप लोग पढ़ाई करके इतना सब कुछ सब्जेक्ट्स आपको ऑलरेडी पता है. सो आई एम नॉट गोना से समथिंग विच इज़ path breaking for you, but I'm going to share something which you possibly know but have completely missed out on, or possibly tend to overlook or underrate in your life or in your head. Psychology, yes, because it's psychology, it has to do something with the mind. And success, because all of us in life want success, right? But यार मेरे को excuse करना, because this is the first time I'm using a screen like this. So what does success mean to you? Achieving your goals, okay.
So it is different for everybody. Different definition.
Yes, आप बताओ अपना.
For some it may be financially, for some it may be emotional or spiritual.
Exactly. आपका क्या है?
For me it is emotional.
It's emotional, okay. Please.
To be happy.
To be happy, very good. Anybody else?
To be satisfied.
To be satisfied, yes. All of these are right answers, by the way, because ये आपके लिए है. Success, this is for you. So nobody can question कि ये क्यों है. पीछे वाले लोग. हिंदी इंग्लिश चलेगा ना दोनों, क्योंकि ये दो लैंग्वेज आती हैं. सो या सो सी सक्सेस इज सबके लिए अलग अलग डेफिनेशन है. एंड जिस स्टेज पे आप हो, आपकी डेफिनेशन आज एक है, 5 साल बाद वो बदल चुकी होगी. मैं जिस स्टेज पर हूँ, आई एम माई 40s, मेरी स्टेज पे सक्सेस की डेफिनेशन बिल्कुल अलग है जो डिफरेंट थी व्हेन आई वाज एट योर एज, राइट. सो success means different things to different people. But at the end of the slides today, I will also share how you can think of success. Not just cracking an IAS, becoming an IAS, becoming a position holder in a government, this thing, and doing something for the society. All of that is fine. But is that success? We can debate, we can discuss. But I will maybe give you a framework on किस तरीके से आप अपने सक्सेस के बारे में सोचना चाहिए, क्या सवाल आपको अपने आप से पूछने चाहिए, so that you can define success for you. Because this is something only you can do with yourself. Nobody can define it for yourself. Okay, but let's say success means different things to different people, but there are certain pillars of success or certain factors that cause success. जैसे आपने बोला ना कि things that drive success. So those things important है कि हम लोग समझें कि what are those things, and there are not many things that drive success. Essentially there are 3 things in life that drive success. ये कोई रिसर्च नहीं बता रही है, बट इफ यू when I will show them to you, you will understand. हाँ ये ठीक है, looks okay, मतलब fairly logical है, right? But any guesses कि what are the things that contribute to success? Consistency, okay. Will, Discipline.
Loving what you do.
Loving what you do, yes.
Family support.
Family support, yes. Yes, absolutely. ये बीच वाली लाइन है, बिल्कुल चुप है आपके पीछे. सेकंड वाली लाइन, या तो मेरी शक्ल अच्छी नहीं है या मेरी लैंग्वेज अच्छी नहीं है. प्लीज कंप्लीट फोकस ऑन द गोल. यस, एब्सोल्युटली. Determination. 5 more inputs, please. Anybody from the online one, if they want to kind of, please. Yes. Determination, yes. Achieve something that is success, yes. Integrity, okay. All of them are fine. Chal jana bhai. Yes, okay. 3 things. These are the 3 things that are, in सबको आप combine कर सकते हो इन चीजों में. Right? क्या करना है? Sorry. How do I escape this? Sorry, राजकुमार जी. एक बार में मेरे को समझ में आ जाएगा, but how do I escape this? अच्छा, हो गया. So we all think of our fate, luck, destiny. Right? We all hard work, so will, determination, integrity, family support, all of these contribute to, you know, the visible, the so-called aspects of success which are required. But you can see family support, you can see integrity. Yes, I want to act in a certain way, and then there is a third, which is the mindset. Right? All these 3 things are important, and please do not get confused by destiny. Destiny being on top doesn't mean that it's the main overarching factor. That's why I want to call it out. This is just a way to show, and I will explain this triangle as we go along. But destiny is not the main deciding factor at all. In fact, it's not the deciding factor at all when it comes to success, right? Because at the outset, let's get this clarified. Hard work, efforts, very, very important. At the bottom of it is mindset, which is where we would spend a lot of time today. I would spend a lot of time today, because this is the bottom line. This is the groundwork. This is the foundation on which you can lay success. Okay? Any questions so far? Any doubts or disagreements? Any comments on the triangle? Okay, so far? Yes. Now, let's look at all of these. Let's look at these pillars one by one. So we talked about luck and destiny, fate, right? All of us have certain backgrounds, certain family issues, education, people, a place we were born in, the way we are, our personality, all of this was given to us. We did not choose. We did not choose our personality. We did not choose the family that we were born in, the place we were born in. Our linguistic skills got developed over time. But these are things that happened by the throw of dice, basically, ek tarike se. Right? Really, health. Again, we can influence it, but we were all born with a certain disposition when it comes to health. All of these things are where you start from. It's your current reality, or it's a fixed reality, right? But that is where it ends. Your family background, the person you are, the personality you are, the INTJ and EFJ, any kind of a, personality you may be, does not define success for you, or will not define success. Anybody, irrespective of who they are or where they are born from, or what kind of language they speak, what financial background they have, none of it influences your success. Yes, it defines your current reality, which is fine, and that is something that you have to accept. वो accept ही करना चाहिए कि हाँ, मैं इस जगह से आया हूँ, मैं ये हूँ, मैं ऐसा हूँ, या मैं ऐसी हूँ, right? ये accept करना बहुत important है, right? ये important बहुत ज़्यादा है, because अगर आप में इस चीज़ को लेके dissonance रहेगा ना, तो आप कुछ achieve नहीं कर पाओगे. अगर आपको dissonance इस चीज़ का है, that who am I, or what kind of a person I am, and maybe the way I am, I cannot achieve success, तो actually that will be true. and we will talk more about this, you know, this constant belief system that we have कि who am I और what kind of a person I am, मेरी family ऐसी है, मेरी language ऐसी है, मैं उस जगह को belong करता हूँ या वो उस caste, creed, religion को belong करता हूँ. This complete acceptance of yourself is the first aspect of actually becoming ready for success. You accept who you are as a human being. That does not mean that you should not work on improving things that you can improve. Like personality, you cannot change. Personality is a fixed thing in stone. It's carved in stone. Personality is something that we are born with, right? We can improve and change aspects of our life, aspects of who we are as a person from a skill, attitude, experience perspective, but we cannot change our personality. We can polish it so that it contributes to our success and happiness, but we should not even try to change our personality, because that is what our strength is, okay? This is something I deeply believe in, that life has limitless possibilities. Anybody who believes in this? Excellent. But itne log, not even 50%. बाकी लोग क्यों क्या believe करते हैं? Life does not have limitless possibilities. So who believes in it? Would you want to say? Why do you say so? Why do you believe like this?
So I believe there's a.
Call me Gaurav. No need to call me sir. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Gaurav, I believe that if one door closes, there are the other windows that open up. So I believe that if one of our opportunity closes, or like if we look for it, we can find other possibilities as well. That's what I believe in.
Awesome. Yes. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am. You raise your hand as well.
Exactly. So if one door closes, then other doors of opportunities opens up, and we have many options to evolve and to explore more.
Okay.
There's nothing to stop.
Okay. So you are looking at it mainly from a career perspective as well. Yes. Any inputs? So yes, the door part, both of you are right, absolutely. But I'm going a little more granular. Her moment, life has limitless possibilities. Every moment, every instant, the way you are, you can change everything about yourself. You can do anything. No matter what your past has been, what your current is because of the past. But what you do in this moment will decide your future. So from this perspective, your present will decide your future. This perspective tells you that the future is infinite possibilities, right? Like you must have been working somewhere. आप लोग में से कितने लोग before you started preparing were working somewhere? Everybody else came directly after graduation. So you decided that I'll become an IAS or IFS or IPS, whatsoever, right? If you had decided something else at that instant, you would have gone in that direction, right? Simple example, I'm just trying to oversimplify it. But life at every moment has infinite possibilities. How you act and respond to it is a different matter. But at every point of time, every instant, every moment, your life, please remember this very, very, very carefully. Your life has infinite possibilities, limitless possibilities. That is the very nature of life. It is the very nature of life. इसमें मतलब कुछ science नहीं है, वो है ऐसा. Because what you decide is the direction that you start to move in. Okay? So, your past has no bearing. And we have so many examples in our society where people came from completely unheard of, disconnected backgrounds and they achieved so much. Only because they believed in this aspect that life has limitless possibilities. So, even if you fail today in a particular practice test or a prelims or a mains, remember this. At that very moment also, your life has limitless possibilities. How you tap into it is a question that we will answer as we go along. Yes, so our fate, I'll read this out to you. The current fixed reality provides a blueprint, right? Tends to provide a blueprint, but how the script plays out is decided by our thoughts, emotions and our belief system, right? Blueprint से घर तो नहीं बनता. घर तो जब तक आर्किटेक्ट ने ब्लूप्रिंट दे दिया, बट आफ्टर दैट घर बनाना पड़ता है उसको लेके, राइट? तो ब्लूप्रिंट इज अ ब्लूप्रिंट. योर करंट रियलिटी, व्हाट वी स्पोक ऑफ इन द फर्स्ट स्लाइड, जो डाइस आपको थ्रो किया गया है विदाउट योर चॉइस, इज जस्ट अ ब्लूप्रिंट. बट ऑल ऑफ यू डिसाइडेड दैट इज नॉट द रियलिटी ऑफ माई लाइफ, right? I will reach there. That was the intent you created and you reached there. You're sitting here preparing one of the second most difficult exam in the world, right? You discarded that blueprint. This is what is important. What we think is what we become. You would have heard this saying, cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. I've just expounded it further. What we think is what we become, right? So if you think you want to do something and you remain at it, that is the direction your life will start to move in. It will start to move in, okay? Our thoughts, deeply seated beliefs, and this is where I start to get into the entire aspect of why the mindset piece is so important for success, okay? Your deeply seated beliefs have a powerful influence on where your life actually leads you. And I want you to remember this very carefully, that what you deeply believe in will actually decide whether you succeed or not. Not just in IAS, but even beyond. Whether you become an IAS or not, your life will move in the direction of what you deeply believe in, subconsciously. So, many years back, around in the early 2000s, there was a cell biologist, Dr. Bruce Lipton. He was teaching, cell biology at the University of Wisconsin School of Medicine. And he was doing this research on cell and the way they behave, the way they act. And he discovered this insight that the way the cells behave is not because of their genetic disposition, which we all tend to believe in. That genes aise hain that they will believe in this way. He discovered that cell behavior is determined not by its genetic makeup, but by its physical and energetic environment. Cells, at a cellular level, this is how life functions. Genes are merely blueprints and do not set in motion the mechanisms of life on their own. Instead, it's the cell's awareness of the environment, not its genetic code, that triggers its life processes. So even at a cellular level, blueprint is not important. And we are made of what? Just billions of cells. So how is it that even at the quantum level and even at a space level, right? More and more quantum physicists are proving this, that blueprint is not important. Every moment, even at a granular level, at a cellular level, what is the deciding factor is their energy of the cell itself in the environment. And this is mind-blowing. So this person, Dr. Bruce Lipton, went on to actually do a lot of research, and which has a far-reaching implication on health as well, as to how health and well-being actually can be achieved by changing the way we think, right? And this is also why it is very, very important that at a cellular level, if things change that way, and that is why you would have possibly come across or got to know of people who were suffering from terminal illness, and simply by the power of their mind, they were able to change and completely overcome the illness. Not that, I'm not saying that medicines are not important, but medicines are always an aid to the recovery process. It is the body that heals itself. And by the power of their mind, they actually heal themselves. So because the cells behaved in a fashion that the person wanted it to behave, right? So let's go further. Now, since I'm talking and I seem to be beating around the bush too much, let me get straight to the point. The power of a mind. But I've used the picture of an iceberg, and I'm sure you can guess why. Why have I used the picture of an iceberg when I'm showing the power of the mind?
Mind versus subconscious mind.
Very good, excellent. Conscious mind and the subconscious mind. What you see and what you don't see. So what you see is only the tip of the iceberg, which is your conscious awareness. मैं IAS बनना चाहता हूँ, मैं इसमें strong हूँ, मैं इसमें strong नहीं हूँ, right? This is my aspiration, this is my intent. But a lot of what we don't see is the invisible mind, which is the subconscious, which remains deeply unknown to us, right? And that is why the iceberg is the biggest beneath the water. And this level can be considered as the level of awareness that we have of our own self. Why this is so important? Because you would realize that the subconscious mind is very, very powerful. I would let you chew a little bit on this slide and understand what is written here. The conscious mind which is what your conscious mind right now is. You're listening this, it's the creative mind, right? But the subconscious mind is like a data bank from which has been storing information from your childhood. You don't even know how your subconscious mind has been shaped up by your experiences, by what your parents have told you, your friends, social media, Instagram influencers have told you. This is getting shaped, right? The conscious mind is logical, interprets, reasons, understands. But the subconscious mind decides how to behave or how you actually behave. So subconscious mind is a learned behavior over a period of time, and conscious mind is where your intent derives. So I want to become an IAS is an inference or is a decision from the conscious mind, right? But the attitudes and beliefs that we hold are held deep beneath the ocean surface. We don't even know, because it is such an autopilot mode thing that works on. Subconscious mind is the autopilot. So when you drive a car or a motorcycle, you are driving on autopilot, right? Most of the time, मतलब आप थोड़ी देर के लिए आंखें भी बंद कर लोगे तो भी आप सही तरीके से चलाओगे, सही maneuver कर लोगे. It's autopilot. So the subconscious mind is the rudder of our life. The conscious mind is the aspirational mind. I want to do this. This is what I dream. Subconscious mind decides ये होगा नहीं होगा. That is why the deeply seated belief system that you have, and this deeply seated belief system starts from our childhood, our formative years. And I'll give you two examples in the next few slides as to how the formative years are so important. What you were told when you were a child, what you were told when you were a student, has been continually becoming stronger and stronger in your head as part of your neural network. So you can decide a lot of things today as part of an intent, but the way you will behave, the way you actually behave in society, the way in your daily life is decided or is governed, I have not said decided, but governed by a subconscious mind. And that is why it is very, very important. Your personal identity resides in conscious mind, your ego and everything else, but your habits, the programmed self, when you wake up, you have a habit of doing A, B, C, D, E. That is decided by your subconscious mind. It's a habit that you formed over a period of many, many years. When you go and sit in a restaurant, you already know what you want to do. It's not always a conscious decision. You decide so many things subconsciously as well, right? The interesting thing and the bummer is that the conscious mind is active only 2 to 3% in a day. This is not my comment, this is research. The subconscious mind is active 98% of the day. Have you noticed this, that things many times can happen in your life which are where you see, if you actually reflect, they happen in a pattern. Same things tend to repeat. Agreed? It's part of the subconscious mind. वैसी हो रही है. You always tend to do things out of habit. We are a creature of habit. And that habit has been formed over many, many years. The more, and you would see your parents as well. If your parents are 50, 60 plus, you would see they do the same thing day in, day out, day in and day out. They do not like the routine to be disturbed. Because over 50 years, unka subconscious mind occupies 99.5% of their daily time. They have very little creative intent. They have very little aspiration and dream. Also because of their age, and in Indian society लगता है कि अभी retire हो गए तो आगे कुछ करने की ज़रूरत नहीं. But I'm just saying, which is very different from how people live in the Western world. Even at 50 plus, they have dreams and aspirations. Their conscious mind is very, very active. But in India, unfortunately, we are completely driven by a subconscious mind. That's why if you see what happens on social media, on news, you are being continuously programmed subconsciously about stuff. Social media influencers, Instagram reels, you're constantly scrolling up. This is basically forming a habit. That's why they say कि बच्चों को आप iPad या phone मत दो, because they are consciously forming a habit of just using a thumb to scroll up and scroll down. Subconscious mind, very, very powerful. So like I said, the subconscious mind is where our belief system is rooted. It is what governs our life, and that is where we form something called as mindset. It's a very oft repeated term, very commonly used term, but very misunderstood term. Over a period of time, when we live, when we act, when we have our experiences, we form our own set of mindset, right? And those mindsets essentially decide what we achieve in life, which direction we go in, whether we are really successful or not. Whatever your definition of success may be, it is your mindset, the bottom part, which decides success. How? Let's take a look. The mindset governs our beliefs deeply. You may not even know many of these belief systems. Let me give you an example. What I want versus what I actually do. I will not miss my coaching classes versus let me take a break and go for a tea, Josie coffee break with my friends. Happens? Very simple and oversimplified example. I want this, but I end up doing something else. I want to be consistent, but I end up being inconsistent. Intent, habit. Habit governs. Happens? Any disagreement? Any disagreement on the internet? Okay, good. This is again very, very important. The subconscious mind stores, retains, and processes information. Working memory is conscious decision, is a conscious mind, but the way it will get retained, and all of you are studying so much, मतलब tons of books तो आप लोगों ने पढ़ डाली होंगी अभी तक. But at the exam time, क्या recall होगा, कितना retain होगा, कितना process होगा, वो subconscious mind decide, influence करता है. 100% decide नहीं करता है, influence करता है बहुत हद तक. Now subconscious mind is a data bank. बहुत story वहाँ पे इकट्ठी हो रखी है. आप लोगों को भी पता होगा. कुछ होता है अंदर लगता है यार ये ऐसे तब हुआ था, वैसे तब हुआ था, नॉस्टैल्जिया, डेजा वू, सब सबकॉन्शियस माइंड की देन है. So much of information gets stored there that it's not funny, right? And that's where our mindset keeps getting formed. Study habits, focus, internalization of concepts is affected by the way subconscious mind is programmed. And all of you need this. The way you study, the way you focus, and the way you process. Although I've never attempted UPSC, but जो भी मैंने 12th fail वगैरह movie देखी, I realized that how in those few seconds you have to process so much of information and then write your answer, right? All of this comes from not just your conscious mind, because that conscious mind interprets, but conscious mind is a fast decision thinker. फटाफट से decide करता है conscious mind. जो subconscious mind है वो slow decision making है, but it analyzes. And the patterns that are made in your subconscious mind actually decides कि उस दिन, the crack day, the D day of the exam, how your mind processes. Is it working on peak performance or is it still struggling? Right? That's why it's very important. It also does manipulation of information. And that is why it plays a very important role in cognition. So cognition in itself comes from the conscious mind, but the way cognition can be stimulated and manipulated is done by your subconscious mind. Very important from a study aspect as well. The subconscious mind and the mindset is also a prisoner of the past. In a way, it's good because it tells us when we are in the same situation where there is a risk or fear. But the problem with this is that we constantly revisit the past rather than deciding the future. The subconscious mind relies on data, past data. But anybody invest in stock market? Stock market में कोई invest करता है, किया है कभी? तो stock market में बोलते हैं ना कि past performance is not an indicator of future performance, right? तो stock market में भी क्या बोलते हैं कि आप past में आपने जो भी किया हो, future uncertain है. But here, subconscious mind always looks at the past. Past में ऐसा हुआ था, तब ऐसा हुआ था, right? It's a prisoner of the past. And these beliefs will either limit what you do in the future or empower you. So if you are constantly thinking, I'm not good at that subject. Somehow something happens when I write the exam. मेरे को नहीं समझ में आता. I may not be able to do this. I will give you some more examples as we go along. But the prisoner of the past dilemma that subconscious mind presents to each one of us is a big limiting factor in our life. If we can overcome this prisoner of the past thing, we can actually paint a completely different picture of our life. And lastly, it triggers stress and anxiety, because subconscious mind is where the emotional response comes from, the reaction comes from, right? Regulates an emotional response, including stress and anxiety. Why? Because the moment we are in a similar situation, for example, me, I don't like making presentation. I like talking, but when it comes to making presentation, I dislike it. So when I was making the presentation for today, I was getting completely not jittery, but not happy. Why? Because I don't like sitting and making a presentation. And I could relate so much to this. Why? Because in the end, this is a prisoner of the past. Even through my, when I was doing my graduation and post-graduation, I've disliked making presentations. So that belief system continues today. Even today, I don't like making presentations. So subconscious response to stressful situation, exam, result, interview, or when you are standing in public and making a speech or whatever. All of these are part of our emotional response, which limits us, right? And that is why it is very important to recognize these patterns. Let's look at further how these so now let's understand that when I spoke about the mindset piece, remember the triangle that I showed you in the beginning? This is the same triangle. Success, thinking, learning, action, behavior, and the mindset. When our mindset is negative, I'm categorizing mindset into positive or negative, but there are 4 different types of mindset. But just for simplicity and lack of time, I just want to ensure that broadly we understand what mindsets do. If we have a negative mindset, what we're essentially doing is our mindset is negative, where we're constantly having belief systems who do not believe in our inherent worth. But we are doing everything to achieve success. हम मेहनत कर रहे हैं, classes attend कर रहे हैं, we are coaching attend कर रहे हैं, खूब सारी किताबें पढ़ रहे हैं. But जो deep within हमारा जो system है, beneath the surface, उसको हमारे को पता ही नहीं है, right? Some of these things that's how they work. I have a bad memory. I was never smart. I was not the smartest person in my class, right? This is how I've always studied. Too late to change now. I don't have the right background. I need to study 24 by 7. This is something that was told by an aspirant here. That UPSC में 24 घंटे पढ़ाई, मैं 16 घंटे पढ़ाई करता हूँ, वो भी मुझे कम लगता है. So thinking that if I need to succeed, I need to study 24 by 7 is a completely negative belief system. Nothing will come out of this, right? Only certain type of people succeed. ये तो बहुत लोग सोचते होंगे. कोई सोचता है ऐसे कि certain type of people succeed करते हैं. Very smart, very outgoing, outspoken, extrovert people. I'm glad that you guys don't think like this. I used to think like this, at least until few years back, right? But similarly, all of you may have some belief system which you possibly are not aware of, right? Those belief systems are what are limiting you today. Absolutely limiting you today. On the other hand, what does a positive mindset tell you? When you start to push your mindset, everything else follows. Your action follows, your behavior follows, and success eventually follows. Success is not a cookie cutter thing. आज ये किया, पढ़ाई किया, 1-2 साल पढ़ाई किया, हो गया. Success will appear and manifest over a period of time as you work on improving yourself, improving the way you think, the way you act. And learning, action and behavior all comes from what we deeply believe in. So if you move the mindset, the entire pyramid will move. So there is a comment on the YouTube channel that overthinking starts. Yes, overthinking again is a deeply held, deep belief system that when you do not know what's going to happen, we completely get frozen up. Does it happen with all of you? आपके साथ होता है? नहीं पता कि आगे 2 साल बाद क्या होगा, क्या कर रहे होगे. फिर आप सोचने लगते हो, ये नहीं हुआ, वो नहीं हुआ, पेरेंट्स क्या बोलेंगे, अगर आईएएस में नहीं हुआ तो मैं क्या करूँगा या क्या करूँगी. Then we go into a completely different spiral of overthinking. फिर क्या होता है? दिमाग जो है कि बैटरी बंद हो जाती है, because दिमाग हीट अप हो जाता है, we don't know what to do. Happens? फिर क्या करते हो आप लोग? आप बताओ, आप बिल्कुल चुप हो, आप बताओ प्लीज. और कितना ऑफन होता है ये ओवरथिंकिंग? मंथ में होता है यार, फिर तो बहुत अच्छी बात है. मुझे लग रहा था कि हफ्ते में होता होगा। आप बताओ क्या करते हो आप? नहीं, आपकी भी वो भी अच्छा तरीका है। गुड स्लीप इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। यस, ओवर थिंकिंग बहुत होती है। वाई? बिकॉज हमारा माइंड जो है, हमारा माइंड ना आगे की, बहुत ज्यादा आगे की नहीं सोच सकता। कॉन्शियस जो माइंड है वो ज्यादा आगे की सोच नहीं सकता। जो सबकॉन्शियस है वो तो पास का डेटा लेके बैठा हुआ है, तो वो आगे की कितनी सोचेगा? वो आज की सोच सकता है, आज इंटरप्रेट एनालाइज क्या करना है। यस, जो कॉन्शियस माइंड है, इट हैज great amount of creativity, it has great amount of intent, aspiration, dream, but उसके पास पैर बहुत कम है, right? It has decision making power, but it does not have the engine power, the fire power. That is why जब आप anxious होते हो, stressful होते हो कि मेरा आगे क्या होगा, आपको overthinking होने लगती है। आज practices अच्छा नहीं हुआ तो क्या होगा? All of this is a cause of a disharmony between your conscious and a subconscious mind, and can be treated. ऐसा नहीं है, मतलब आप सोते हो, आप रेस्ट लेते हो, all of these are good strategies to have. The best way to overcome overthinking is to know that you're overthinking first. And if you know that you're overthinking, tell yourself and snap out of it. Start doing something which you can do at that moment. Anxiety किस लिए होती है? Because we are living in the future. Depression किस लिए होता है? क्योंकि वी आर लिविंग इन द पास्ट। प्रेजेंट में अगर आप रहोगे ना, आपको ये होगा ना वो होगा। द मोर यू डिसाइड, मैं अभी क्या कर सकता हूं, मैं अभी क्या कर सकती हूँ, व्हाट आई कैन डू नाउ, व्हाट कैन आई प्रिपेयर नाउ, व्हाट शुड आई डू नाउ, यू विल स्लोली रियलाइज कि आपकी ओवर थिंकिंग की जो फ्रीक्वेंसी है रिपीटेड, वो बहुत कम हो जाएगी। ओके, सो एनीवन कैन सक्सीड, एवरी स्टेप इज अ प्रोग्रेस। फॉर अ पर्सन विद अ पॉजिटिव माइंडसेट actually finds opportunities in every situation. For him or her, everything is a benefit. Nothing is evil. For a person of positive mindset, even a failure is a start of a new opportunity. जो आप कह रहे थे कि कोई closed door नहीं है. Exactly. जितना आप इसको regularly बोलोगे, आज अच्छा एग्जाम नहीं हुआ, let me see कि मैं क्या खराब कर रहा था, मैं उसके ऊपर फोकस करता हूँ. What can I improve? What can I polish? Right? This is important. Any questions? Any comments? Please, बीच में आप मुझे इंटरप्ट करिए अगर है तो कुछ. मेडिटेशन करते हैं कोई लोग, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, बहुत अच्छा है, किसी ने बताया. एंड वॉच कार्टून्स, यस. आई बिलीव डू माई बेस्ट, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, किसी ने कमेंट किया है. आई बिलीव डू माई बेस्ट. दिस इज अ वे टू ट्रेन एंड रीप्रोग्राम योर सबकॉन्शियस माइंड टू टेल योरसेल्फ अगेन एंड अगेन, आई विल डू इट. इट्स वन ऑफ द वेरी पावरफुल वेज. इसको हम लोग के स्पेस में अफर्मेशन भी बोलते हैं, जो आप लोगों ने सुना होगा ये टर्म. बट अफर्मेशंस आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. इट्स अ वे टू ट्रेन योर माइंड. सी, जो माइंड है ना, इट्स अ मंकी माइंड. अग्रीड? महाभारत में भी अर्जुन ने, कृष्ण ने बताया है अर्जुन को कि मंकी माइंड है, एक इसको कंट्रोल नहीं करोगे तो हर डायरेक्शन में भागेगा. राइट? इतने 20-25 सालों में आपका जो दिमाग है, वो सबकॉन्शियस माइंड है, वो प्रोग्राम हुआ है टू थिंक इन अ सर्टन वे. सबकॉन्शियसली आपको पता भी नहीं था, बट आपका दिमाग प्रोग्राम हुआ है. नाउ यू हैव टू कॉन्शियसली रीप्रोग्राम योर माइंड. लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड कि कुछ लोगों ने ये कैसे किया. यार इमेजेस नहीं आ रही, आई डोंट नो व्हाई, सॉरी, बट देयर वाज एन इमेज ऑफ बीथोवन. बट बीथोवन को सब जानते होंगे, एटलीस्ट सुना तो होगा, मतलब उनके बारे में सुना होगा. किसी ने सुना उनकी मेलोडीज को, सिम्फनीज को? बीथोवन की लाइफ के बारे में कोई जानता है थोड़ा बहुत भी? ओके, मैंने ना दो चीजें उनको डिवाइड करके बताया सो दैट आई कैन मेक अ पॉइंट. पास्ट रियलिटी, उनकी फिक्स्ड रियलिटी क्या थी? ओके, आई डोंट नो कैसे जाएगा ये, बट आई होप यूट्यूब वाले भी देख पा रहे होंगे. सो बीथोवन हैड अ वेरी टफ लाइफ. He lost his mother at 17, had an alcoholic and abusive father, right? Never had a family, unrequited love, wanted to adopt his nephew, but had to face legal battles. He was a great music composer, but imagine he turned deaf when he was in mid-20s. A musician turning deaf, ये उनकी fixed reality थी. He is considered the greatest, one of the greatest musicians of 20th century. अगर आपको मौका लगे तो YouTube पे या फिर Spotify पे Symphony number 9 which is called Ode to Joy आप बीथोवन का सुनिएगा. Right? This is considered, it's a masterpiece. Okay? Now imagine chronic liver disease. In that situation, no money, very little money, struggle with money. This was his fixed reality, right? But what did he do with this fixed reality? Right? Let's see this. That's why I've called it the programmed life, right? He trained rigorously. He studied the great musicians of his era and of the earlier era, the Haydns, the Mozarts, right? Frequently experimented with musical forms and structures. And when he turned deaf, now turning deaf, becoming deaf for a musician is a curse. मतलब उससे ज़्यादा खराब किसी musician की life में क्या हो सकता है? But what he did, he used a special ear horn and was said to use a wooden stick to put on the piano keys to understand vibrations कैसी हो रही हैं. Imagine the mindset. Think of the mindset of this guy, man. मतलब deaf हो गए हैं, life में कुछ भी नहीं है, but vibrations समझने के लिए, सुनने के लिए, he would use a ear horn like that. And as a result, he was able to use the deep imaginative power of his inner ear. So इनके बारे में बहुत रिसर्च हुई कि यार डेफ होने के बाद इन्होंने how did he produce such symphonies, right? And you know, so he was able to then hear music in his mind and not with his five senses. We have six senses, but the five senses में deaf तो हो गए आप, तो अब और किसी से तो सुन नहीं सकते. So he uses sixth sense, which is the mind, and he was able to practice and deeply, and he transformed his suffering and created something called an ode to joy. Ludwig van Beethoven is a masterpiece in music, but the way he transformed his life from the mindset that he was able to develop by continuously not getting influenced by his current reality, created a masterpiece, and it's so inspirational. Let's look at somebody else, possibly somebody closer home we all have heard about. Have you heard about this lady? Yes, such a inspiration. Why am I using Beethoven and Sheetal Devi as two examples? Can anybody say? Yes, but Sheetal Devi का एक difference मैंने use किया because Sheetal Devi was young, and that was a benefit for her. Beethoven was very advanced in age when he was creating all of this, 30 plus. But Sheetal Devi, when he started, so she was born in a village, आपको सब पता ही है, you would have possibly read about her, Focomelia and all of this. But the important thing is, right from childhood, she did not allow herself to be limited by her disability. Meaning, जिस टाइम पे subconscious mind pattern बनाना शुरू करता है, उस टाइम पे ही उन्होंने उसका खात्मा कर दिया negative mindset का. As a result, she never thought there was anything wrong with her. She was very athletic. She was so athletic, that is why the army coaches ने उनको observe किया कि she is so athletic. She could climb trees. Imagine being armless and could climbing trees. That is why they picked her. Now then they wanted to, give her prosthetics, but that didn't help. But the fact was that at such a young age, Sheetal Devi did not even think that she had a problem. हमारे साथ अगर ऐसा होता तो हम मतलब घुट-घुट के मर जाते आज के टाइम में, right? But you could say ignorance is bliss, right? But maybe she was ignorant. But I'm saying it worked in her favor. उन्होंने वो सारे नेगेटिव माइंडसेट जो चाइल्डहुड में बनने शुरू होते हैं सोसाइटी की वजह से, रिलेटिव्स की वजह से, फैमिली की वजह से, वो बनने ही नहीं दिए. तो शी वॉज ऑलवेज एज अ क्लीन स्लेट. एज अ रिजल्ट हम सबको पता है कि उनकी अनप्रोग्राम्ड लाइफ, मैंने अनप्रोग्राम लिखा है. बीथोवन के केस में ही रीप्रोग्राम्ड हिज माइंड. इनके केस में इट इज अनप्रोग्राम्ड. प्रोग्राम नहीं उन्होंने होने दिया अपने माइंड को. नेवर अलाउड अ लिमिटेशन टू अफेक्ट हर. And you know, we all know about her accolades and the awards that she's won. Only female Paralympic archer to shoot without arms. And I've seen the video of a recent victory. It is mind-blowingly inspirational. Mind-blowingly inspirational. आप लोगों में से किसी ने वीडियो देखा है? मतलब it's so much of elegance she does it. And I'm sure उनकी लाइफ की स्ट्रगल अभी तक कैप्चर नहीं हुई है उस तरीके से जिस तरीके से होगी मेरे आने वाले 5-6 सालों में. But the fact is that the subconscious mind, when it starts to make memories, belief systems, dreams, and you know, an emotional response, वो सब उन्होंने पहले से ही एक पॉजिटिव डायरेक्शन में कर दिया, थैंक्स टू द कोचेज ऑल्सो. ऐसा नहीं है. इमेजिन ऑलवेज बीइंग डिपेंडेंट ऑन समबडी फॉर इवन फॉर फीडिंग. आप खुद अपने आप को फीड नहीं कर सकते हो, अपने डेली एक्टिविटीज, डेली चोर्स खुद नहीं कर सकते हो, स्टिल लिविंग अ वेरी नॉर्मल लाइफ. स्टीफन हॉकिंग, जो आपके बारे में आप लोगों ने सबके उनके बारे में सुना होगा, सो मच ऑफ डिसेबिलिटी एंड लिमिटेशन, बट माइंड वाज शार्प एज एन ईगल. वाओ. सो all of these examples are there because they are possible. People have done it. Now I'm coming down to a little closure so that we can, you know, have some questions. How do you reprogram your mind? Do we agree that there is something we need reprogramming, by the way? Do we agree? There is something that we need to change in the way we think. We need to master our mind. Bottom line of today's session is, if you want to succeed in life, it could be any definition. You need to first of all master your mind. Very, very important. Master your mind, reprogram the way it thinks or the habit in which it thinks, or the patterns in which it thinks. Becoming self-aware. If you're not aware of your own tendencies, emotions, or thought patterns and triggers, you will keep getting defeated by them. You will keep getting bogged down by those triggers and thought patterns. तभी आप देखते हो कि आप एक ही तरीके से react कर रहे हो, एक ही तरीके से behave कर रहे हो. आपके behavior, आपकी life में pattern है जो बार बार emerge हो रहा है. ये तो हमारे इंडियन सोसाइटी में बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. इट्स ओके टू फेल, राइट? मतलब इसको तो मैं ज़्यादा एम्फसाइज भी नहीं कर सकता. इट्स ओके टू फेल. इट इज़ नॉट ओके टू गेट डिफीटेड, बट इट्स ओके टू फेल. एक्चुअली देयर इज नथिंग कॉल्ड फेलियर. बट अगर आप क्रैक करते हो IAS, वेरी गुड. क्रैक नहीं करते, इवन वेरी वेरी गुड. प्लीज रिमेंबर दिस, ऑल ऑफ अस आर बॉर्न विद अ रीजन. वो रीज़न ये नहीं हो सकता कि मैं नीति आयोग का CEO बनूं, या ये भी नहीं हो सकता कि मैं एक पर्टिकुलर कंपनी का VP CEO बनूं या कुछ और, या SGM बनूं. All of that are worldly things that you must do for your own aspirations and dreams, but that will not define your happiness. Mind it. 5 years or 10 years down the line, if we meet, hopefully you will tell me that I went through this journey, I became an IAS or I did not become an IAS, but I'm happy. I love what I'm doing. किसी ने बोला था loving what you do, right? This is what is important. It's okay to fail because life is a journey of a lot of experiences. You fail some, you win some. You fail some, you win some. Please have gratitude. Every day, be grateful for the things that you have. Be optimistic. Grateful for the food that you eat, grateful for the parents that you have, grateful for the opportunity you're getting to study, to become somebody in this world today. Be grateful. Be optimistic. If you spend just 1 minute with gratitude, your life will change. You will experience great hope and happiness just by being grateful. Agreed? Resilience. ये एक चीज़ है जो आज की सोसाइटी में डिमिनिश होती जा रही है लॉगरिदमिक स्केल पे. रेजिलियंस. आजकल के बच्चों, मैं अपने बच्चों को देखता हूँ, जनरेशन जो है रेजिलियंस के मामले में बिल्कुल ही फुद्दू हैं. जो कमिंग जनरेशन, आप लोग जनरेशन स्टिल समवेयर इन द मिडिल है. रेजिलियंस मीन्स द एबिलिटी टू बाउंस बैक फ्रॉम अ फेलियर, ability to withstand a tough situation. This resilience is the key, because resilience also gives rise to perseverance. वो भी मैंने लिखा हुआ है. So I know all of, मतलब जो UPSC की जर्नी है वो 2-3 साल 4 साल चलती है मिनिमम ऑन एन एवरेज, राइट? आप लोग कितने रेजिलियंट हो, आप लगे रहते हो. सो फ्रॉम दिस पर्टिकुलर एस्पेक्ट आप लोग ऑलरेडी विनर हो, बिकॉज रेजिलियंस इनबिल्ट है इस जर्नी में, राइट? एक बार देते हो, 2 बार देते हो, 3 बार देते हो, 4 बार देते हो. That itself is resilience. Perseverance we've spoken about many times. Patience and perseverance is a way to solve most of our life's problems. This is important. Conscious thought. What do you spend time with yourself? आप लोगों में से कितने लोग अपने साथ टाइम स्पेंड करते हैं? कितना? क्या करते हो उसमें बताओ? ये मत बोलना फोन पे होते हो.
शेड्यूल्स वगैरह बनाता हूँ खुद के लिए, और सर खुद को टाइम देने का मतलब है कि लाइक सर जो मेरे खुद के थॉट्स होते हैं उसको कैसे रिप्रोग्राम कर सकूँ.
वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. अपने साथ टाइम स्पेंड करने का मतलब है नॉट टू डू थिंग्स, टू बी विद योर सेल्फ. हम इकलौते आदमी जो अपने साथ सबसे ज्यादा रहते हैं यार. वी विल स्पेंड द मोस्ट अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम इन दिस लाइफ विद आवरसेल्व्स. तो वो कितना क्वालिटी है उस टाइम पे, आप अपने आप को क्या बोल रहे हो, क्या कॉन्वर्सेशन हो रही है खुद से, वो बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट है. सो अगर आप 1 घंटे अपने साथ टाइम स्पेंड कर पा रहे हो, दैट इज एक्सेलेंट. उस टाइम पे टेल योर सेल्फ दैट यू आर वर्दी, टेल योर सेल्फ यू आर केपेबल, टेल योर सेल्फ एवरीथिंग दैट नोबडी इन दिस वर्ल्ड विल टेल यू, नॉट इवन योर पेरेंट्स. उन्हें पता ही नहीं, शायद नहीं होगा कि आप क्या किस चीज़ के थ्रू स्ट्रगल कर रहे हो, राइट? बिकॉज एक टाइम के बाद आप नहीं शेयर कर सकते उनके साथ. वो जो 1 घंटा 15 मिनट 20 मिनट है, प्लीज हैव एक्सट्रीमली वैल्यू एडिंग टाइम विद योर सेल्फ. दैट इज द टाइम यू कैन कंप्लीटली रीप्रोग्राम और स्टार्ट द रीप्रोग्रामिंग जर्नी अपने माइंड की. अपने आप को क्या बोल रहे हो वो इंपॉर्टेंट है, क्या सोच रहे हो ड्यूरिंग द डे वो इंपॉर्टेंट है. इसलिए रीप्रोग्रामिंग, दैट्स वेयर इट हैपेंस. स्माइल ऑफन, ये तो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. आप बहुत सारे लोग स्माइल ही नहीं कर रहे बिल्कुल, या तो सुबह की बात है या फिर मेरे कैसे लेक्चर बोरिंग है. बट स्माइल, स्माइल टू योर सेल्फ, स्माइल एट अ फेलियर, स्माइल सक्सेस पे स्माइल करो, फेलियर पे स्माइल करो, स्माइल करो बस. वो अपने आप में ही सबकॉन्शियस माइंड को रिवाइड करना चालू कर देता है. सेट गोल्स, ये आई एम श्योर आप कर रहे हो, बट विजुअलाइज करना बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है, राइट? मेंटल रिहर्सल, शीशे के सामने खड़े होकर बोलो कि मैं ऐसा हूं, मैं ऐसा हूं, मैं ऐसा करूंगा, दिस इज व्हाट आई विल डू दिस. विजुअलाइज सक्सेस. आईएएस की तैयारी करो, विजुअलाइज इट. विजुअलाइज करना बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है. विजुअलाइजिंग, मेंटल रिहर्सल, ये सब लोग वो करते हैं. सो जब लीडर्स प्रिपेयर करते हैं स्पीच के लिए, विजुअलाइज करते हैं. जब स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन ओलंपिक्स खेलने जाते हैं, वो विजुअलाइज करते हैं. मेंटल रिहर्सल होती है उनकी. प्रैक्टिस करते हैं मेंटली कि सीटी बजेगी, विसल होगी, मैं ऐसे भागूंगा, मैं ऐसे खेलूंगा, मैं ऐसे शॉट खेलूंगा. मेंटल रिहर्सल is a very important aspect for people who are in competitive sports. किसी के बारे में पढ़ लेना, अगर किसी को जानते हो तो पूछना उनसे. Do they do mental rehearsal every day, especially in the run up to the peak match? And lastly, you know, speak to people, take help. There is no shame in asking for help if you need so, with your confidants, with the parents, with a mentor then in coaching, or even with a coach, you know, if you have any. By the way, आप लोगों को पता है कि जितने भी बड़े सीईओज हैं, वीपीज होते हैं, दे हैव देयर ओन पर्सनल कोच. मोस्टली दे हैव, एवरीवन, मोस्टली नहीं, सबको. उनकी जो बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स होते हैं वो बोलते हैं कि आपको एक पर्सनल कोच होना चाहिए. वो पर्सनल कोच आपको बताते हैं कि आपको कैसे लीडरशिप रखनी है, कैसे स्ट्रैटेजी करनी है, कैसे अपने आप को कैरी करना है, क्या सोचना है, क्या नहीं सोचना. वो कोच जो होते हैं वो उनके मेंटल सबकॉन्शियस माइंड को रीप्रोग्राम करते हैं, रिवाइड करने में हेल्प करते हैं, राइट? So this is very, very important. Again, success is a daily habit. I'm sure all of you are doing things, but I'm not going to spend much of time here. But please go through this. Some of you may be already doing all of this. अगर नहीं कर रहे हो तो some of it I would urge कि आप लोग start करो. You know, like for example, have a daily routine, daily discipline. Daily discipline important इसलिए क्योंकि उससे आपका mind reprogram होता है, आपका subconscious mind reprogram होता है. ये सब चीज़ें इंपॉर्टेंट है. सही खाना इंपॉर्टेंट है, सही टाइम पे खाना इंपॉर्टेंट है. डेली वेकिंग अप एंड स्लीपिंग टाइम एट द राइट टाइम बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है. इफ यू डू दिस, योर माइंड इज ऑलरेडी गेटिंग रिप्रोग्राम्ड. यू हैव टू स्टार्ट लिविंग इन अ वे दैट यू आर लिविंग द बेस्ट पॉसिबल लाइफ टुडे. Even though you are preparing, even though it may be your second, third, fourth, first attempt, live every day as if you are successful. Live every day in a very, very, you know, active and a value-creating way. The way you live is the way you will act. The way you will act is what will make your habit. And what will make your habit is what you will do in your life again and again, repeatedly. And this is the framework I wanted to leave you with, which is the framework of success. How you should think of success in your life. आप लोग पढ़िए इसको, और क्वेश्चन अगर किसी को इसके बारे में कुछ बोलना है तो प्लीज़ बोलें इसके बारे में. ये मेरी लास्ट स्लाइड है. बिल्कुल, मैंने तो शुरुआत ही उससे की थी। डेस्टिनी क्या है पता है आपको? कैसे पता है? आपकी डेस्टिनी क्या है पता है आपको? यस, यू आर मेकिंग इट। ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट चीज बोली आपने, यू आर मेकिंग योर डेस्टिनी। कोई फिक्स्ड रियलिटी फ्यूचर की नहीं है। जो कोई फिक्स्ड ही नहीं है तो उसको आप चेंज करना है तो आपके हाथ में ही है। लेट मी रिफ्रेज इट इन अ डिफरेंट वे। डू यू थिंक हिटलर वॉज मेंट टू बी अ हिटलर? तो फिर मतलब पैदा कोई कंस, कृष्ण और भगवान राम या फिर हिटलर के रूप में होता है क्या? फिर हैव आई आंसर्ड योर क्वेश्चन? आपके हाथ में है सब कुछ। वॉट यू थिंक इज वॉट यू विल बिकम। थिंक कॉन्शियसली तो ठीक है, सबकॉन्शियसली जो अपने बारे में सोचते हो ना, वो इंपॉर्टेंट है चेंज करना। अगर आपको लगता है कि मेरी किस्मत में ही नहीं है तो वो नहीं होगा। अगर आपके मन में ही है ना कि मेरी किस्मत में भी नहीं है ये खुश होना, सक्सेस होना, तो वो नहीं होगा। क्योंकि कहीं ना कहीं आपका जो आइसबर्ग का नीचे वाला पार्ट है ना, सबसे बड़ा वाला, वो ही उसको लेके चल रहा है कि मेरी किस्मत में नहीं होगा ये। तो अगर ये सोचना है तो इस सोच को चेंज करना है, सोच बदलो। कितने सारे एग्जाम्पल्स हैं यार, आपके आईएएस की फील्ड में इतने एग्जाम्पल हैं, हमारे इंडिया के पब्लिक लीडरशिप में इतने एग्जाम्पल हैं। सबको देखो, और किसी को भी नहीं देखना तो अपने आप को देखो, अपने से पूछो, अगर मेरी डेस्टिनी फिक्स्ड है तो मैं क्या कर रहा हूं फिर? लाइफ हैज लिमिटलेस पॉसिबिलिटीज एट ऑल टाइम्स, एट ऑल टाइम्स। कोई और सवाल? यार ये सारी चीजें मेरे हिसाब से सक्सेसफुल है। ये मेरे लिए भी सक्सेसफुल है, जहां पे मैं आई कैन डू द बेस्ट ऑफ वर्क दैट आई एम डूइंग एंड आई एम यूटिलाइजिंग माई फुल पोटेंशियल एंड लिविंग अ लाइफ ऑफ माई ड्रीम। जो कि यू नो लाइक फ्रॉम अ वर्क पर्सपेक्टिव, जैसे मेरा ये फॉर्म है, इसको मुझे सक्सेसफुल करना है, बट इवेंचुअली अ पर्सन हु इज हैप्पी एंड कैन लिव ऑन देयर ओन टर्म्स इज सक्सेसफुल, कैन यूटिलाइज देयर फुल पोटेंशियल इज सक्सेसफुल। आप अगर आईएएस बनते हो तो सक्सेस फ्रॉम अ वर्क वुड मीन कि यू आर रियली कॉन्ट्रीब्यूटिंग टू द सोसाइटी विच यू से यू विल। जब आपके इंटरव्यू में पूछा जाता है कि आप क्यों बनना चाहते हो, सब लोग का कहीं ना कहीं आंसर ये होता है कि मैं कंट्रीब्यूट करना चाहता हूं। तो अगर आप आईएएस बनने के बाद कंट्रीब्यूट नहीं कर रहे तो इट इज अ डिसोनेंस, राइट? सक्सेस मीन्स अ पर्सन इज डूइंग द बेस्ट दैट ही और शी थिंक्स he can or he would, and living a life where they are happy, irrespective of designation, status, property, वो सब जो भी है, all of that are part of success. उसमें ऐसा नहीं है वो important नहीं है, to live a good comfortable life वो सब important है, but वो success को define तब करेंगी when you are actually utilizing your full potential, and in a way all of this defines all of that. So आज आपका हिसाब से success ये होगा, कल कुछ और हो सकता है, but there will come a time when you will agree that success means living a life which you have always dreamt of, where you're using your full potential and contributing to others in a meaningful way. This contributing to others in a meaningful way is important. If you're only living for yourself, ठीक है, बहुत सारे लोग रह रहे हैं, but when you can live, achieve your dreams and also contribute to society because the world needs it, you are successful. So, thank you so much. This is what I wanted. We also run a mindset mastery course for 6 months, where we actually give students, aspiring students, a personal coach who helps them win. You can go on our website devotees.care, and you know for today's session you can use this coupon code if you're keen. Any questions that anybody has? Comments, disagreements? Likes, dislikes, followers, engagements? कोई सवाल? Anything from within, from what we discussed today or outside as well? क्या classes के बाद? Polity, my God. Okay, so I would request all of you to actually give your feedback also. You can scan this QR code and give your feedback. It'll really help me and my team to actually improve the content and improve what we are doing. So would request all of you if you could give your feedback. Also the ones who are on YouTube. With this, I thank you for the opportunity and for the patient listening. Thank you so much I learned a lot in interacting with you today. And from me and my team, all the very best for what lies ahead of you. I hope all of you really achieve success that you dream of, whatever you are aspiring for, and really master yourself and achieve great happiness in your life. Okay? Thank you so much. Thank you. बंद हो जाएगा ना यूट्यूब वाला अभी अपने आप ही.